For a long while, life has been forcing a lot of women to wear the big pants and take over from when and where the man left. But now, some of them have to put on a hoodie and deepen their voice just to feel safe. In Mwea, Kirinyaga County, monkeys have become a thorn in the flesh for the residents. They are destroying food crops, invading homes, and harassing women and children. These monkeys have evolved and don't fear scarecrows. They don't fear women, children, or even old men. They only tend to fear young men, probably because they stone or chase them into the shrubs and thicket. While the young men are in school or working in town, some of the women that are left behind have found refuge by dressing like men and even changing their voices to scare away the monkeys. In other parts of the country, there are men who are wearing bras and panties to drum up business. As we shift our attention from central province towards the south, the controversial crop Muguka is still facing the chopping block, while leaders from central and the coast are debating whether to drop the guillotine or not. AG Justin Muturi insisted Muguka should not be vilified, rather it should be better understood. Cathaedulis is the scientific name for Mira specifically. Muguka doesn't have a scientific name officially, but since they're related, they can share the same name for now. So when Cathaedulis is mentioned, we already know which one they are referring to by context. Between the two, one is superior than the other in almost every aspect. Like a marriage between a husband and wife, they both share the same name, but we all know who calls the shots. We all know who is the real headmaster. The side chick. She gives amazing brain and receives rain after wonderful shot. Oh, God bless her. Cathaedulis, the plant grown in Embu and not Meru, supports 65,000 people in Embu and generates 22 billion for the Kenyan economy. Its street name is Jaba, as in Chai Jaba. If I had to guess, Muguka came into the wider market around the same time as the Chai Jaba brand of tea. It had a catchy name. Long before the commercialization of tea and coffee, before the British and other foreigners came to our land, our people used to chew leaves of specific plants and trees for medicinal purposes. After extracting the juice, they threw the finished chunk back to the ground, which benefited the soil. Nothing got wasted, which is the way of Africa and ought to be the way of the world. Nobody ever thought of making Muguka a type of tea. Ever since its discovery, people are continuing chewing it. Same with Mira. But coast leaders want to ban these crops from entering their city. Reason being, it's destructive. Any drug that can be obtained over the counter or from a trusted peddler can be destructive when taken in excess. From liquid courage to pills and weed, all of them should be used moderately. Maybe the coastal city aims to be better. They aim to be better than Kisumu, better than LD and Nax, even better than Nairobi. By the way, none of those four cities are complaining about Cathaedulis. It reminded me of the pride Texas has in the United States. Like we are better than the rest. We have oil. Come to think of it, or maybe I'm being paranoid, the coast of Kenya might be in that same position. They have the ocean, they have the ports, they hold the keys to the pearly gates of international trade. That can be a source of pride. Let's just hope they don't get too proud to hold hands with other counties and work together. In the eyes of the coastal leaders, Muguka has turned people into zombies, and the numbers are growing daily. As the number of zombies continue growing, sooner or later the army of the dead will be greater than the army of the living. And coast leaders are the first line of defense, manning the wall. To stop this army from expanding, they are trying really, really hard to close the door that stands between the living and the dead. The door is almost closed, but Kathaiduli supporters are relentlessly trying to push the door back open. At this point of the struggle, the coastal leaders are looking and shouting at each other. Hold the door! Hold the door! Hold door!